Welcome back to the Paperstac podcast. My name is Rick Allen. This is my esteemed colleague, co-host, friend, Brett Burky.
Yep.
How's it going, man?
Good.
First, you guys won't know this, but this is our first podcast of the year because we finished last year way ahead and just started doing podcast after podcast after podcast, and we're able to schedule them out. So we're, what's today?
I might have been wearing the same shirt. I don't know. Had the same haircut. No, I'm saying for the podcast that we did in a row.
He did. I think I actually brought a change of clothing so I could make it remotely look like it wasn't there. But it is the what is it?
How you get a bunch out.
That doesn't always happen. Normally, it's where like we were recording them at most like 2, maybe 3 in advance. But this, we got pretty far ahead.
It was December. I just knew it was gonna be like one of those things where we would drop off or something.
Man, it was so like. It's crazy, like when when you're running something and it's like you've got customers and it's kind of revolves around the financial thing. It's like, well, Christmas was on what? What was it? A Monday? A Monday. So I feel like we didn't lose like the full week, but we lost a lot. We lost some time because, nobody was doing anything on the day after, which was Tuesday. Mm-mm. And then, kind of maybe... the 27th people started to work, and then you got some people the Thursday and Friday. But then it was like you ran right into New Year's.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so it was just super. So this year, the 24th, or 2024, Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
On a Tuesday?
Wednesday.
On a Wednesday?
On a Wednesday. So you can just basically figure on nobody's. I think I'm scheduled a ski trip.
Oh.
To go out to Colorado
nice.
To go skiing, just because I was like, okay, well, if Christmas Day is on a Wednesday, that means Tuesday is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And Monday is just, what's Monday? And nobody likes to work on Mondays. But people might work, but it's the holidays, so I feel like Monday is going to be like like an 8 to noon day. New Year's or Christmas Eve isn't even going to happen. Christmas Day, obviously, no. The day after Christmas is kind of like, and now you're at Friday. Well, nobody's going to do a one-day Friday, so you're just going to lose 2 full weeks of productivity.
Yeah.
Because then you're rolling right into the following Monday, you probably will get some people working, but then Tuesday is New Year's Eve, Wednesday is New Year's Day, and like I just think there's a couple days every year that we should just make them holidays. The day after New Year, like the January 2nd, should be a holiday.
I could see that.
July 5th, definitely a holiday.
I can see that.
If July 4th falls on like a Monday, July 5th should be a holiday.
But Mike will be working. Mike, our business partner, will be working.
He would be.
He would be working.
But if we made it a bank holiday...
He'd still be working. He'd still be working. He likes it.
Anyways, All
right. So what are we talking about today? What's the topic?
So I think we're gonna talk about something that happened on the platform.
Okay.
You kind of asked me questions about it, and it revolves around payment history.
Right.
Right. So many times we look at payment history, and we're like looking for patterns. Right. We're looking for gaps, patterns. We're looking for good gaps. We're looking for bad gaps.
Yeah. Have they been late? What day do they pay?
Right. Yeah. Or are they consistently making payments, which we think is great.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like,
it is good.
Good payments are good. Like, hey, if they consistently make payments. But what if we have one where they're making payments, it's current.
Right.
But they're also making giant lump sum chunk payments.
That would catch your eye.
You would think like, oh, they're putting in extra money.
That's good, but it's so many variables when you look at that. Like if you're looking at it on $100,000, $200,000 loan, if they're making $1,000 payments over or $5,000,
you're okay.
Yeah, that's just nice to get. It's different.
So
when it's a lower balance, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about this one, and it just closed, and everything is gonna work out. Just kind of the details on it are the origination balance. So when this loan was originated, which was in May of last year of 2023,
It's March.
March. I thought it was May. Oh, March. You're right. March of last year. March 15th, Ides of March. An educated man I am. You know what that's from? Mm-hmm. No. It's fine. It's fine.
Harry Potter's or something. I don't know.
That's
way off.
Caesar.
Okay.
Anyways, the original balance on it was $14,997. 12.9% interest payment, or 12.9% interest. It was, looks like it was a 5-year loan. Is that right? No, 8-year loan. Not a lot of loan. Not a lot. It was.
Yeah, that's right. 31.
Yeah. So, 8 years. Principal and interest payment $245.
That'd be nice to collect over 8 years. I mean, you know.
Not a problem. 12.9% interest. Just do.
Throw that into an amortization calc.
Yeah, it's enough.
You're looking at 20s, in the 20s right there.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. So that's, you're looking at this as great. Origination, almost 15 grand. So that was in March of last year. This goes onto the platform, and it looks like it went under contract in beginning of January of this year.
Right.
And if you go look at the payment history, which we have up right here, this borrower was making their payments of like $299. They would make a little bit extra, $299, and then they'd drop in a lump sum of $1,000. And so they'd make a payment of $299, $300 pay off obviously their principal and their interest and any escrow. But then they follow it up, like sort of like right in the middle.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would they do that? The way I was viewing
just
this
making a payment every other. They're basically making a payment every other week, and then the bulk payment they're making is for this one was $1,000, and they would do it where they would make a $299 payment, then a $500 payment, and this is the one that gets you right. This is the one that's like,
yeah.
So original balance in March $14,499. It's on the platform. The balance is $11,150, and that's in December. January, they make a lump sum payment in January of $5,000. Drops the balance from $11,150 to $6,150.
Yeah, so looking at that, what it tells me, first off, there's one thing I was like, that's interesting. So their payment is at $250, right? So even from the onset, this person's thinking, I want to pay this off fast because they're trying to pay $300. So they're like, I'm going to pay over just on the regular payment. But what that shows, what I was looking, so when I was reading it, it was like, okay, they're already paying over because they don't want.
Well, they weren't. They had escrow and impounds, so their taxes were escrowed. So their total payment was $299.
See, I was even reading it wrong there.
No, that's fine. But if you look at it, like when they were making the payments, they would make $299, and if they made a $299.95, $135 of it was going towards interest, and $109 of it went towards principal. But that's on this one, which was made $831. Then they followed it up with a payment on $919 for $1,000. Then they made a payment on 10/11 for $300 or the $299. Then they made one on 10/31 for the $299. So they were making these payments. They were making them in advance.
Making them in advance, and it looks like they're paying on each paycheck. Somehow this person gets paid every 2 years or something like that.
Like a lot, not somehow. It's like that's.
Well, I'm just saying that's what it looks like.
That's not like out of the norm. Getting one paycheck a month
is out of the norm.
Is out of the norm. Like getting paid every other week is kind of like that's like kind of standard. But the interesting thing is they're making these lump sum payments, and so when you're looking, kind of tying this all together, when you're looking at payment history, you kind of have to take everything into account. This is without a doubt fantastic payment history, right? Like,
I mean, it's fantastic.
As far as like paying on time, you're like, wow, these people are
pay ahead of time, and they more.
They're paying extra. You're not worried about having to foreclose on them.
No.
However, you go and you put this thing under contract 5 days after they made a lump sum payment of $5,000, you have to be concerned at that point because this person paid damn near par. I mean, they were within $250 of par is what they paid for it. And so you got to look at that when you figure in Paperstac fees and everything else. They're over par, and then here's the kind of the kicker. They made a lump sum payment of $5,000. On the 17th, they made another lump sum payment of $1,000.
Yeah.
So this person clearly is they're paying this thing off. Now, fortunately, you have a seller that did the right thing, gave the $1,000 over to the buyer, and everything is it's going to work out. They're not going to be out. They're not going to be up. They're just hitting the 12.9% is.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting one. This isn't the norm. So but this is something else that you probably want to look out for. I mean, it's not. This isn't like. This is.
If they can manage to collect 2 payments, and they collect $600 and they put in $6,400 or $6,200, and they get all their principal plus they get $400 extra. It's probably going to be done by the time the summer gets here. You did it. But just remember, look at the payment history, look at the balance. If you see big payments and there's a small balance, you got to take that into account and saying there's a chance, probably a good chance, that this thing's going to pay off very early. And we're never going to let this thing it's never going to make it to where I'm going to get all that interest.
Where this could be other things to look at when you're looking at this, right? First thing I would look at if I saw that big old payment, I'd see is there any servicing notes. 'Cause a lot of times they might have to call in or something like that. Maybe there's a reasoning why. Maybe they got a Christmas bonus. Maybe they will pay $299 for the next year.
I see a pattern on this one, right? There's a pattern. There's a pattern here of them getting out of this. But also, if it was non-performing, there may have been a big lump sum.
Yeah,
where it's like, hey, they got to bring a chunk of money there. So yeah, always want to do it and look at it, but. That's one where you want to look at the payment history because really a great payment history here as far as them paying on time and you not being worried about losing anything. But
at the same time,
yeah,
pop it into an amortization schedule for a year. And not only that, I mean, you got to look at states. The state is one of those northeastern states, which can be a little pricey sometimes. That one doesn't look too. That's a pretty. Is that right?
What?
Is for the total on the recording fee?
This is for the deed of trust.
Oh, okay.
That's for the deed of trust.
I was about to say that. Yeah, that would be good. But yeah, no. I mean, so there's just so many different things that you have to think about. I mean, especially when it's that small. But on a really big one, that'd be kind of cool, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's good if you got
At least you know how motivated the buyer is.
Yeah, they're good to stay in there. So, anyways, that was it. It was kind of an interesting scenario that popped up on the payment history, and maybe we can. I don't know if we can link to that and kind of sanitize this.
I don't think so. I mean, that's their own transaction. What's the takeaways from Rick Allen? His expertise on it. What's the takeaways? How'd you run across that?
It would have been real tough because at first you're like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. It's a good deal. And then you're like, well, let me look at the payment history. And then you're looking at the payment history and you're like, oh my gosh, they're paying early, they're paying on time. And then you're going to see, oh man, they're paying these bulk sums. They're these lump sums. So to somebody who's trained and looked at it, you might say like, okay, this one's, you don't need to see any servicing notes on that one. You can kind of read the tea leaves and be like, yeah, this one's going to pay off pretty quick.
Would you have moved forward with it?
No, I would not have.
No?
Not me. Not me.
What if you could have got a hell of a discount?
Yes. If I could have got that for like $3,000 or $4,000, yeah, I would have done it because I would have known. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put in $3,000 or $4,000. Maybe I'm into it for $5,000, and my $5,000 is going to turn into $6,500, and it's going to happen in like 3 months.
Right, which would be a really weird negotiating because the seller would probably be the same thing. Like, well, I can see that it's going to pay off. As a seller, you're like, well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you never know. You never know the reason, and that seller, who knows? But it's one of the things where good for the seller. They got what they're looking for. Good for the buyer on this one. They're, I guess they're going to have a deal that's going to pay off quickly. It's just wondering how much they're actually going to make on it. So.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have bought it, but that's just me. It's different strokes for different folks because I would have been like, I'd like to get my money in something that's going to sit a little bit and work.
Yeah, I'll also say one silver lining, if that was a first note and you got that lesson off your first investment.
Hey, that's a really good one to get.
Yeah,
Because there are way more painful lessons to learn than that one.
Yeah, that was actually, it's because there's been times when people did not check payment history at all, and it's gone a little bit different. And that actually turned out to be decent. You know, it's not the best outcome, but it will work. You know, like it'll, the worst thing that you get is your money back and more. You know, so like.
Yeah, you make a little money on it, but it's just a good lesson. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for this episode of the Paperstac podcast. Of course, like always, if you have your own episode idea, let us know. We're always looking for cool things, different strategies, different things we find to kind of help you out. Things that are out of the ordinary, like something like that. We want to make sure that you know. Something that
Yes, we're working on one. Brett and I are living and breathing one right now.
Oh, that one's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be. We're waiting for the conclusion to see how it turns out. But it is.
It's a good one. When listening to Rick talk on the phone and I have to sit there behind him like, oh my God, I can't believe he just said that. He can say anything. I can't. I couldn't say it. He says it with such a smile that they just don't even know.
Which is funny because you tell me I got resting asshole face all the time.
So. They can't see you through the phone, but I can. But I just know when you say those things, you're like,
okay.
Okay.
You know
this
what's
is where
interesting is when you get to sit there and there's a few people. There's a few people who are just like they have like the best. I'll call them like war stories or whatever. The people who talk like the people who are in the trenches and stuff like that. You know, Chris Sevney's. Gosh, he's got some great ones. Matter of fact, we were meeting with one of our investors and he brought up that podcast we did about the.
Oh, yeah.
About the note. He's like, it was so timely because I was in the middle of something and I went and I found it and I used that as leverage to get this guy to start paying again.
That was a neat one. If you haven't watched that one, it's about judgments.
Oh, that one's so good.
Such a good one.
You have to go to that one. Chris drops just knowledge bombs on there. That's one of the ones where I'm just sitting there just learning and loving it. But that same investor we were talking to, and we were telling him what was going on with his deal.
Oh, he gave us a golden nugget.
Oh, gosh, he just gave us a golden nugget. And it's, I mean, it could just be huge. But
returns could be in the thousands of percent.
Oh, yeah, it'd be like a 10,000% return. But anyways, it's just interesting that whenever you go out, it's always a good idea just to, like, I'll do it. Like, I'll just bounce a few deals off of people that I know. And he's one guy that I'll just bounce deals off all the time. And I won't say his name because he's like, no. We asked him, would you come on the podcast? He's like, absolutely not. I want to be nowhere near the spotlight. I just want to do my thing and nobody knows that I'm even around. He goes, I was like, all right, I can respect that.
Yeah.
But anyway, super interesting. So tap into your community, your resources, just the people you're around. And
because they'll look at it with different eyes. That wasn't an angle we even considered. But once he said it and we thought about it, we're like, that's brilliant. That made my day. So if you hear this, you made our whole week. We were talking about it.
We did, yeah. And
that was a good time.
So, anyways, that's it for this edition of the Paperstac podcast. We'll see you on the next video. We're gonna go do a wardrobe change and record another one.
See ya.